good time to start the session. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I represent Saavn, which is technically addressing the 1/6 of humanity in terms of their audio needs. I would like to not to say that just the music needs, it's about the audio needs. Couple of points that I could pick up from the earlier panels, and they set up the stage correctly for me, was their limited options for brand marketing on mobile, custom messaging is a challenge, data focusing is a channel, and how engaging can that communication be. I have been in digital conferences for a good part of my decade and a half career in digital, and interestingly, or rather not so interestingly for us, we always talked about, I will go to this. We always talked about the solutions which were to start with, it was display, and then came in search in 2003, 2004. Then it became social, when brand managers started buying likes on Facebook, and then it's all about video right now. Nobody ever talked about audio as a communication delivery platform on digital advertising. So what remained untapped was audio largely. This is what we are addressing. Next couple of slides will give you a little insight into how it is shaping up in the benchmark market, which is the US for most of us. Now look at this for stats, right? For a population of 330 million, United States has 14,000 FM stations, terrestrial radio stations. For a population of 1.1 billion and 1.2 billion, as whatever you can take, we have radio stations which are 300 in number, right? And there's another round of licenses due, which will take it to somewhere around 700 or something. But still, see the gap. Interesting thing again, look at the ad dollars spent on terrestrial radio, 22 billion in the US market over those 14,000 stations, and 300 million in India. Ad dollars spent digital, again, no comparison at all, right? So India is yet to start, it's barely at 11 million, the estimated numbers. Now, just going deeper into the platforms used for music listening in the US, so if you look at Pandora, which is a leading digital radio, and Spotify, just put two of them together, it is close to 65%. 65% of the music consumption happens on digital platforms in the US. And going the way the mobile density is happening in India, I mean, we know where we are headed as well. Yeah, so as I said at the start of my discourse, that we should be looking just beyond music, because audio has very different shapes and forms of interesting content that can be delivered. So moving beyond music, we can get into storytelling, we can get into podcasts, we can get into stand-up comedy acts, audiobooks, nighttime stories for bedtime stories for children. Most of these actually are right now getting uploaded on YouTube, which is strangely, it's a video platform, but a lot of audio content is getting uploaded on YouTube. We want to get that out of YouTube and make these digital delivery platforms as the one-stop destination for all the audio needs. So it's an engagement party out here. So again, going by the US numbers, so on an average time spent on a day on digital radio by US adults, between Pandora and others, it's 39 minutes. 39 minutes of their entertainment time is spent on these platforms. Very interestingly, these platforms can be simultaneously consumed with other leading destinations on mobile, like social or gaming, right? So music or audio is an always-on thing, right? Can play in the backdrop while you are engaging with your email or you're on your social platform and stuff. Now, this is a crystal ball for the advertisers in the room. I don't see many of them though, but look at the spend on Pandora. It's 300. It's 730 million actually, right? Way ahead than LinkedIn and Amazon. Just to give you a perspective, right? So this is the way that even we are headed as we go along. Just a quick merits, I mean, listing of merits of audio versus other digital platforms, right? So in terms of communication delivery on at least our platform, we do a hybrid model, which is audio-led visual, right? So you communicate something to the consumer who is listening to some audio content, and then he's led up to engage with the visual banner which is there on the platform for the next 15 minutes, right? So this audio-induced engagement that we're talking about. None of the mediums can actually give you that kind of liberty. Impossible to avoid. It's not skippable. Definitive call to action, as I said. Superior tracking, obviously it's 100% trackable, as are other digital mediums, so there's nothing much different here. Cost-effective production. In fact, we have a full-fledged production house in our Mumbai office where we are doing a lot of audio production for the brands who don't have any audio strategy, right? And they want to come on the Saavn platform. So we do a lot of audio spot production for the brands. And believe you me, it's cheaper than most of the banner ads that we see on mobile. Customized creative for target profiles. Yeah, so one of the panel guys earlier in Adish's panel, they were talking about custom messaging to the consumers. Yes, we are sitting on a potload of data here, and we can do custom messaging to different consumers. Every consumer sitting in this room can have a different audio message delivered to him or her. Just mirror to the terrestrial radio, and I'm nowhere saying that we are going to make a dent into terrestrial radio. The opportunity here is that we can go along. Both of us can go along. We are the extension to the terrestrial radio. Just a quick comparison. Excuse me for my bad throat. Terrestrial radio is broadcast, and we are narrowcast. So typically, a radio station will broadcast only limited inventory that they can do in 24 hours. We have dynamic inventory, right? We stream close to about 8 million songs a day right now, and a typical radio station, I believe, has around 200 to 220 songs in a week. Limited streams I talked about. Push versus pull, right? So it's content of your choice. On the digital platform, it's content of your choice. It's not something which is being pushed down your throat without your need. Yes, just taking a few quotes here, one from Rishi Malhotra, our CEO. He says it's not just about understanding the streams, but who the streamers are, right? So that's where we talk about custom messaging to every single consumer, by knowing his patterns, his behavior, and the way he consumes the audio. Steve Savoca, head of content for Spotify, says not everyone is a super fan. They invest a lot into data, so they can be actually valuable to every user. Had to have an industry perspective on this. When Dominic Delport, who is the MD of Havas Media Global, he says the way recommendation algorithms are moving forward, these products will almost become like a friend who knows us well, right? So you go to Saavn right now, and this is your pattern of consumption of audio in the last few months. We have this recommendation algorithm, which will actually give you a feeling, spooky feeling actually, that we know you just too well. Just a slice of a data sample, the soundtrack of Billion Lives. I mean, this is an infographic of a typical week and time of the day in a Saavn consumer's life. Yeah, so we talked about custom messaging. We can look at various cohorts which we can customize the communication with, be gender, be geo, be time band, music content and language. We are live in like 13 languages right now. Device price point. So we know by the device we know the consumer by the device. So we can look at targeting just the iPhone consumers, or look at targeting just a consumer whose handset is north of 20,000 rupees. Things like that. Operator level targeting. It's a no-brainer. Now, the call to action. So audio induces call to action. The guy gets onto the mobile screen. He lights up the app and he clicks on the banner. And the various actions that he can actually induce from there is on a landing page, or he can. This is at the end of the day, it's a phone. Right, so the banner becomes a default dialer, and there's a pre-populated number that you can click to call immediately. So, for example, in the case of automakers, if you want to induce a test drive, so you can push the feature of the car here, and then ask the guy to click on the banner to book a test drive, and he clicks on the banner and becomes a dialer, and he can book a test drive right there. Pre-SMSing, so pre-populating the SMS text, email, click to maps, click to hear the soundtrack. A lot of brands are coming with the brand anthems, and in fact, one of the panelists earlier talked about sonic identity of brands, right? So HDFC has come up with this Mogo. You guys must do a YouTube on that, and it's a very dear company to me, Brand Music, which has done this Mogo for HDFC Bank. Just have a look at that. A lot of brands are looking at sonic identity, and which are the platforms to promote them. I mean, we are the guys who will promote it. Again, YouTube is not the right place for a sonic identity promotion. Just to conclude, some parting thoughts. How can audio, the theater of mind, make your target consumers imagine the right imagery for your brand? What kind of audio calls to action in the right environment help you drive your brand's business? Brands have a lot of celebrity endorsers these days, and you put a television ad and bombard it with the commercials, but how can these celebrities be actually talking to your end consumer? So if we have this audio recorded in the voice of a celebrity, that personal affinity that we create towards the brand for the consumer will be unimaginable. So what's your brand strategy? So what's your brand's audio strategy, right? So this was a article that I was going through. Rob Norman, who is the Chief Digital Officer of Group M. In one of the articles recently I read where he talked about brands to have an audio strategy, right? So we all talk about your social strategy, we all talk about your visual, we all talk about your TV strategy, but custom audio strategy is where mobile can deliver tremendous results for the brands. That's about it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think post this discourse, we should start taking audio more seriously as the fifth paradigm of digital advertising. Thank you so much. Yeah. Any questions?
Hi. To me, where audio differs from video or text or banner ads is that the device actually is not in front of you. So if that's in background, as you rightly said, right? So there is this delay of listening to something and acting on it. So call to action is not immediate. So are there solutions that you are developing to remove that barrier so that I don't need to essentially take out my device, and that friction can be removed on clicking, and that leading to not only brand enhancement but to performance advertisement also happening on audio?
It's a very interesting question actually, and you will help me sell Saavn in this room. So you very rightly said that when you are listening to music, right? So for example, if you're working out, you're on a treadmill, you're listening to music passively, and the mobile is in your pocket, but at the same time, you get a message, or audio message delivered that, a custom audio message for a guy who's on a treadmill or who's working out for a brand like Nike, right, for the sports shoes, right? You're on a treadmill, you're not going to stop immediately and go and click on the banner, right? You will take a bit to stop, and then, because the message of interest to you, you will take a while to stop and go fire up the app and click on the banner. Right, so it's in our case, it's for next 3 songs. So once the audio message is delivered, for the next 3 songs, all the display real estate belongs to the same brand whose audio message was delivered. Right, so you have enough and more time to go and engage with the communication. And just to give you an interesting insight here, that the engagement rate in our case is close to around 7% on an average. After the audio communication is delivered, 7% people take the pain to go and light up the app and click on the banner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Srinivas here. I think this question rides on the back of what the gentleman asked there. And I just wanted to find out whether Saavn is looking at the healthcare industry segment as an opportunistic marketplace? Because today, if you look at fitness and if you look at sports, a lot of people are looking at accompanying music to help them exercise, help them, train. And if you look at the newer startups in the US market, like Fitness Radio, they have an enormous content there which they are focused on, bringing it to the masses. So this is an emerging category, and what do you see that in the Indian context?
See, definitely anything related to audio content, whether it is fitness or it is partying, everything is of interest to us, right? But if you go and do a search in Saavn today for fitness playlist, right, there will be like 500,000 of them, which are user curated, right? So it's already there, curated by the users, right? And any content which is relevant to a particular industry and is audio in format, we'll be more than happy to take it online.
But we're just rehashing existing content there. What I'm saying is not just curating. I'm telling creating original content for this. And let me give you an example to elucidate my point. You look at somebody who's training for a sprint versus a marathon, and you look at the intensity levels that he's going through. The music is basically sourced depending on the profile and persona and the content that he is figuring it out in his app. So it's not that something that he has to create or he has to source. It automatically streams based on his activities.
I get your point. So there is a lot of content which is already there curated, but there is some custom content which anybody is creating for, say, healthcare sector. For example, we are more than happy to take it on board, right? So we are a content warehouse, right? And any kind of audio content, again, I reiterate, is more than welcome on our platform, right? And consumers can go and discover it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.